Senator Singh.
Deputy President, dear me. The first alarming word that I heard in Senator Bernardi's response there was the word job security. That they think on that side of the chamber they actually care about job security. This is an opposition. This is an opposition that is in opposition. Because of their policies against job security, because of their stance on work choices that drove them out of government. And yet they stand here today and pretend that they're, for some, all of a sudden bubble thought comes into their head that they are a friend of the manufacturing worker. Well, let's not be fooled in this place at all on that front. And for Senator Colbeck to raise the question to Minister Carr is again an alarming thought, because Senator Colbeck would know that, one question that we're all taking note on here today. Senator Colbeck would know, coming from Tasmania as he does, as a Liberal senator from Tasmania, that what happens under Labor governments when there is an issue, a serious issue in relation to the manufacturing industry and manufacturing job losses, or manufacturing serious job losses from manufacturing on the line, that Labor governments act. Labor governments act. And Senator Colbeck would have some memory in that in Tasmania. We've had a loss in Tasmania of the Blunston factory. Under the state Labor government, they acted. The state Labor government acted to ensure supports were given to those workers who were losing their jobs from the company of Blunston. Similar today, what we have here is a recognition from those on this side of the House of the plight of those workers, a recognition of the serious loss of the steel industry, and that is why we have acted. That is why we have appointed former Premier Beattie to actually come in and, as someone of a reputable character, someone with a great knowledge and expertise, having been Premier of one of the largest states in this country, great capability to come in and give assistance to this particular industry. The manufacturing industry is an industry we take extremely seriously on this side of the House, because we recognise that they have a number of workers that need attention and support as our economy changes and goes through this transition period. And we've, again, Senator Colbeck should remember that we have recently bear witness to that in Tasmania in relation to the forestry industry. I mean, there are industries in our country that are in a transition because our economy is in a transition. But what does the Gillard Labor government do about that? Do we sit here and idly waste time and wait for those workers to lose their jobs and things to go down into a dire heap? No, not at all. That is what happened. That is what happened under the coalition government. And the only time in my memory that the coalition government actually acted in relation to manufacturing jobs was when John Howard had some family connection to the company in question. Don't we all remember that? The old textile workers that he had a brotherly connection to. Too bad for all those others in the manufacturing industry, but when there's an interest of family importance, then we see some action from the coalition government. What we know is that those on that side of the House have no plan when it comes to issues of change in our economy, when it comes to issues of workers needing support, needing to transition into new jobs in a new economy, whereas those on this side have a plan. We have a plan to support and to look at the ways in which our economy needs to be supported through a reform process. And those reform processes are many, many and varied in a great era of Labor governments that have gone before us and that we continue to do, which is to ensure that we are making things better in this country. And I could go through a huge list of those areas of reform, Mr Deputy President, that shows just how the differences are outlined between us on this side and those on the coalition side. But the most obvious one is that we do support job security, we do support fair work, and all they support is unfair work, which is why they're in the situation they're in opposition.